right, now where the fuck were we? Did you guys make it back to room 13?
Yes.
I have no fucking clue.
Well, let me look at the...
I think we got back to the beginning. We went through that. We went through that corridor with the fire dancing from the candles.
Yes.
And I think that we were in that room, right? Whatever that room was.
I think we passed through that room.
But wasn't that like right by the entrance or something?
Ish. I think we were trying to get back to the room where we fought all the earth elementals so that we could try a different route.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's
We have a limited amount of time to get by that room before they respawn.
approximately 8 hours until the first one respawns.
And then it'll slough in until there are 5.
Did we figure out if it's like 8 hours and then 1, and then 8 more hours and then 1? Or if they all come in at once?
You did figure out that it was 1 at a time, and it's not necessarily always 8 hours. That amount of time is variable.
Okay.
If you didn't figure that out, Salandra, you got a high enough score in your knowledge arcane. You figure it out.
Yeah. You told us last time that they.
Yeah. Solandra got something gross like a 38.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Which is really not. I mean, that's like her best skill. So.
I can't even imagine getting above a 16 on any skill check.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild what starts happening when plus 16 is your modifier, and you're like, oh, Jesus. I get a what on intimidate?
Oh, I remember Rivo.
Yeah.
It does what when you hit an enemy? Anyway, so yeah, you're somewhere between room 12 and 13. Earth
Yeah, my
elemental room and tapestry room.
plus 25. So.
Sweet Jesus.
Right, because you went through hallway A between room 3 and room 7.
Yep.
And then broke down the door to room 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you do?
You're gonna have to give us a recap on what doors are in where we are.
Do you have that copy of the part of the place you've explored? There it is. So, yeah, if you go up to just before my experience total, there is a part of the rooms that you have explored. And then there are 2 doors that come out of room 13, and then there's the frozen door on the south side of room 12. I mean, the door is literally frozen, but somebody touched a doorknob, and similar to the way, you touch a doorknob when your house is on fire, and you're like, oh, fuck, my hand. You touch that door, and you're like, oh, fuck, my hand. And someone was like, is that hot? And you're like, nah, it's cold.
So corridor A was the corridor with the dancing flames, right?
Yes.
All right, so then we went back into 7. 7 was... trying to remember, where was the entrance? Which way is the entrance?
Room 4 is the entrance. That was the entrance foyer with the hologram of Marduk.
All right, so 8 was the Glabber Zoo.
11 was the Glabber Zoo. 8 was the charnel house from the Glabber Zoo's victims.
And then 7 was empty?
Yep.
Got my point of reference back.
Okay,
so
alright.
We went through 7 to 12, and then 13 was the Earth Elemental Room?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And then 10 has unliving people. 5 is a golem factory. 3 and 9 have chimeras. And then 2 has 4 stone golems wielding mean swords.
All right, so
but
we know
the swords are also made out of stone, so they don't look like they're for chopping.
We kind of want to avoid room 10, because it seems like those guys might be waking up.
Yeah, don't want to be in there any longer than we have to.
Was there another corridor at the south of 13?
Yes.
Yeah, there are 2 exits out of 13 to room 17 and 18.
Okay, so we haven't been there yet.
Nope. And you also haven't been in room 16, which is south of room 12.
We also haven't been in room 6, 1, or 2?
Yeah. And you don't. You looked inside room 2, and room 2 had the stone golems. You don't know what's inside room 1 or 6, and I didn't feel like editing them out, so you figured out that based on the geography of the structure, there have to be rooms there.
Did we try the door?
Was locked or not?
I'm sorry, you both spoke at once.
I'll shut up.
Oh, I was gonna say you go first.
Oh, okay. Did we try the north door to 6?
No, you haven't gone into room 6. And when you go over to check it out, it's locked, but it's made out of wood, so you can just break it.
Do you want me to break this down?
Yes, please.
Okay. I would like to break down the door.
I'm holding my hand for a ice tomb in case it's something that's
A 20.
The 20 breaks down the door. It's not like off its hinges, but like it snaps and makes an unfortunate thudding noise. And the lock just sort of like caves in, and you're like, I'm just gonna open this and lean it on its side. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
And in room 6 is there appears to be some sort of waste pit in room 6. This room appears to be like some sort of trash center, and you can hear grinding coming in from the pit below.
Ooh.
Is there no
The floor
way
is
to-
covered in chess tiles, like alternating white and black across it.
Oh.
But
Does it seem like there's a game in progress?
Nope.
goggles going on.
Goggles on. Nothing to see here, Captain. Garbage has to go somewhere, ostensibly.
And does it look like it's passable?
Oh yeah. It's not like a giant moat. There's just like a hole in the floor.
Okay.
All right.
Let's not fall in the hole in the floor.
Any magic radiating from the tile?
From the tiles, no. But the chute leads to some form of dice pile. No, techno-magical machinery.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take brother and push a little bit of my weight on one of the tiles near the entrance.
You do that, and nothing happens. Brother scuffs up the paint a little bit.
Okay, well, this seems straightforward enough. If you didn't detect any magic, then...
Well, there's always mechanical traps. My weight isn't that great, so...
I know what this means.
I hold out my staff just in case. I'm ready.
Actually, can you loan your staff to Holt, and Holt, can you put your weight on it and see if that does anything different?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe just tap the tiles in front of us until we get out of here, just in case. You know, I'm paranoid, but everything is trying to kill us.
Oh, it makes sense.
Paranoia pays.
I'm going to draw my spare bastard sword and put some weight on the tiles in front of us.
Well, the staff would work better because it's.
Would it?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got a
Well, I didn't want to.
broader weight to distribute.
Want to risk Clementine's nice things. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Holt. I appreciate that.
I'll
But
take
it's-
your staff. And...
I don't have any nice things. Oh, sorry, brother.
No, he's not a thing. He's a member of our team.
Brother
Anyway.
confers that he is both. He is both a thing and a member of the team. These aspects are not mutually exclusive. But he does appreciate Holt's sentiment. But he's
That's
not
the
gonna.
nicest thing he's ever said to
I
me.
was about to say he's not gonna pass up the opportunity to correct you. Obviously.
Obviously, he's brother.
So you make this perilous trek, taking this path through room 6 to get to the door to room 1, and it's just like, oh boy, where's the trap? There's a ground, Monty.
Nothing.
And
Okay.
you get to the door, and it is iron, and the door is unlocked, and nothing happens.
Oh, that's
Whew.
surprisingly nice.
So, brother is the second smartest, second wisest, Who does anyone have a charisma over 13?
Let me take a look. Yes, I have a 14 charisma.
Oh.
So brother managed to be second in all of the intellectual traits of the party.
He's great backup.
Listen. Didn't really have anything.
Listen, I got no defense. That being said, everybody make a wisdom check.
Oh God.
You got it.
Oh, big money. Big
Wisdom
money,
check
big money.
or no? I guess wisdom.
I do mean wisdom.
An unnatural 20.
A 7.
An even 10.
Oh, okay. Clementine, when you get through this room, you're like, well, considering how far McCavity said that he got in here, and the Glebber Zoo wasn't here when he came in for his first sweep, he would have gotten through this room. So this room is probably, and he said that there weren't any traps where he had been, so you henceforth, ergo, he must have been in here, and he said there were no traps, and therefore there could not be any traps.
QED.
QED, quod erat demonstratum, he said like the big jerk.
He also said there are no locked doors. So. Can't.
No locked doors in the way that he came.
Yep.
No, but this should be all right.
Oh, that's good. You gave me a look there for a second.
No, I was thinking.
Oh.
Trying to remember what path McCavity took. But I think it was this one.
I'm gonna open the iron door.
You open the iron door. There are 3 things on the other side that... Oh, wait. Oh, my bad.
There are 4 things, and they're all friends.
They are not friends. There are 3 things. Pardon me. And they don't look friendly.
Oh.
Oh.
Air elementals? And a storm elemental?
Oh no, they're all air.
Okay.
That weird purplish elemental like isn't a storm elemental. Like you've seen a few elementals in your time, and you're just like, nah, it's an air elemental, but that's a big one.
Big boy.
The other 2 seem strangely subordinate to it.
All right. Air elementals. Lovely. I transform into an air elemental and call out to them.
They speak Orin, and because you're an air elemental, you're able to speak Orin too. And and they just like one of them raises an airy hand and just says, "Hello."
Hello. You must be guarding the way through this room.
You are correct.
Any way that we can pass without combat?
Absolutely not.
All right. Thank you very much.
We assume that you went through the Earth Elemental room, so you know
We did.
the deal. Yep. Then you know what's going on.
Yes, thank you.
My apologies. You have to understand. It is the only reason that we are here.
I understand. I appreciate the willingness to talk with me anyway.
Well, so few bother to learn the tongue. And the other 2 just sort of like chitter to themselves. Have you ever heard an air elemental laugh? It's haunting. No matter how happy they are, it's just haunting.
I turn to Holt and Salandra and just say same deal as the Earth Elemental room. They're not mean. They just have to guard it. So we can either fight them or we can turn around and find a way around.
There's another room beyond them. I don't know if there's anything in there that's useful. We don't really know what's.
Which room are we going into right now?
1.
Room number 1.
Number 1. Number 1.
Oh, I thought. Oh, all right. So we went through 6. Oh, 6 was the charnel house. All right. So then this is just going back to 2. So do we need to go through here?
Nope.
Nope.
No, we can go around.
I'm just gonna back up slowly.
I give them, the elementals, a little wave. Say, thank you very much. We're gonna try and go around.
They bow.
I bow back. You're so polite, Clem says to Holt and Solandra.
They actually might have preferred it if we let them. I think of it.
Well, Solandra, you have the goggles on. There's another summoning symbol behind them, just like the Earth Elemental room.
Yeah, figured.
So they've got the same deal. If you destroy them, they'll be back.
Same ones or new ones?
That you're not so certain.
Just I mean, when you're air elemental, being stuck in a closed room for millennia is not probably the most fun thing in the world.
It's not the best.
But hopefully if we take all the goodies out of the tomb, then they'll all be dispersed.
Well, for their sake, I hope so.
Who designed this thing anyway, Dogo?
I tap my head. You have anything to do with this?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
It's just like not a fucking thing, man.
I think there would be more traps and twists if it were Dogo.
You can be absolutely certain that there would be. More so than that.
We expect Mardu to be a little bit more symmetrical.
A little bit more what?
Symmetrical.
Oh man, and now I feel a little silly because symmetry was on the list of things that I could do with the dungeon.
Aw.
Oops. Oh well.
Oh well.
Well, I mean, that is freaking lawful as hell.
He's awfully lawful. It's the symmetry, Steinman. It's all about the symmetry.
Fucking fearful symmetry.
Whew.
How blatant.
So back through the trash room, to the empty room, to 12.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So 12 is the tapestry room?
Yes.
Yeah, it had the beautiful tapestries. There was another room at the bottom of 12 too, wasn't there?
Yeah, that leads into 16, but it's not on the little map that we have.
Okay.
Have we been in 16 yet?
We have not.
Okay.
So we can either go through here, or we can go through 13. Both of them are open currently.
I think we should try the room on the bottom of 12.
Okay. What kind of door is at the south of 12?
It is locked, but it's only made out of wood.
Okay.
Come on,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
try.
Use your head.
No. That's Toby's job.
You breaking down the door?
Yeah, 17.
Smash.
Smash.
I'm detecting magic around the door. I'm curious if these doors fix themselves over time, or if there's like some sort of maintenance spell in this dungeon.
It doesn't seem like there's a maintenance spell. You get the feeling there's like probably like I don't know, once every 3 years a golem wakes up and just runs around and fixes everything and then like throws himself into the trash pit along with everything else. That being said, what comes through the door is snow. Snow, ice, and other nasty feelings.
Good thing I have all this cold resist.
How much cold
20.
resistance do you... 20?
Yeah.
So you take 10 points of cold damage before the door fills up with snow drifts and just like it insulates itself away from you. But you're like, I'm gonna open this door. And, oh god, shit, fuck.
Holt, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't think... What the fuck?
Everyone make a perception roll.
Got it.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I forgot my perception's crazy fucking high. A 31.
A 17.
I rolled really low.
I rolled really low.
Oh, hey, look at this boy. There are 13 of those boys in there.
Jesus criminy.
But
In the
Clem,
other room?
in the room. Clem, you're the only one who gets a good look at them. Make a knowledge nature roll or knowledge planes, whichever is higher.
Got it.
Or both.
I'm gonna-
Have both.
Let's see. Knowledge nature is higher for a 24.
Okay. Those don't seem like ice elementals.
No, they're not. Can I also roll knowledge planes?
Do you have knowledge planes?
I do.
Fucking yeah.
Hell yeah. A 12?
Well, it's obviously an elemental of some kind. It seems to run on some sort of electricity.
Huh.
I don't mean actually runs on electricity. I don't know. I'm making a Avengers reference.
Well, it's not an ice elemental, but it is an elemental. Snow elemental? I have no idea. They're cold. They look cold.
Yeah, no shit, they're cold.
Based on Clem's description, can I make a guess?
They're in there. They're not moving. Sure. Make a knowledge planes check at a -10 penalty.
Okay. So -10. That's 25.
25.
Respectable.
If it were an ice elemental, it'd be walking around in there. It's probably... Fun fact, here's what most people don't know. You can't just freeze a water elemental to make an ice elemental. That's not how that works. But if you did freeze a water elemental, it would not be able to move because it's too solid. If it tried to move, it would shatter itself. So those are probably frozen water elementals.
So we probably need to do something about the cold in order to move through that room. When we do something about the cold, the elementals will be able to revive themselves.
Right.
What, no chance that they might be grateful?
They're under orders.
Elementals are not people, Holt.
Just a thought.
They might be very grateful, and they probably would still try to kill us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep my mouth shut next time, okay?
Really sorry, but we have to kill you.
Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, that crystal in there. Right, there's a crystal in there. I should mention. You guys totally saw it. There's a
Is
big
it
old...
like the one that was in the golem room?
It is. And I mean, if you wanted to be total maniacs, you could try to go into the ice cold room and operate in there, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like,
No.
Holt, you took damage from opening the door. It's much colder in there.
We can't go in there. Sorry, guys.
That door cannot be opened.
I have a feeling that we may have to fucking get through there at some point. But let's.
Okay, so here's an idea. This might be a bad idea. I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna back up away from the room. So I'm no longer getting blasted by cold air. And I gesture for these two to come into like a little mini huddle. They're like, okay. So there's another one of those crystals in the golem room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what if... Do you think those two are linked somehow? Like if we destroy that, will it make that room passable?
That might be what needs to be done. I have a feeling that this has all been a little bit too easy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
His face kind of lights up, like, yeah, I did it smart.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea to me.
If it's not that, it's something similar. Maybe moving the crystal off the pillar, or something that destroying it, maybe, but it's something. Most likely. But let's see if there's any way for us to make our way forward without dealing with that fucking nonsense. Because remember, we're gonna have to fight the golems in order to get to that crystal, and it's also protected by a fucking force field.
No, we don't have to fight the golems to get back to room 2.
No, but if you went into the room to fuck with the crystal, the golems would probably attack you.
Oh, sorry, I meant the elementals and golems aren't the same thing. That's me. Sorry.
Are you saying they all look the same to you, Holt?
I'm saying they're both made out of fucking rocks.
This is true. They are both, in fact, made out of rocks. But one is made
You
out
are
of
not
magic,
wrong.
and one is made out of different magic. Shut up.
Yeah, think about it this way: is that golems are made by people, and they tend to have one very, very rigid form. Elementals are almost always, by definition, malleable and able to move themselves in kind of weird ways. They're they're living things. They're
Solandra, I understand you actually. I'm pretty sure you told me this before. I'm gonna forget it.
Okay.
I think you put it very nicely, Solandra.
Thanks, Clem.
Thanks.
Thanks!
Alright, so what's the plan, folks?
Backtrack. Woohoo!
Back to room 12.
13, right?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys head into room 13. Do you want to go for the southwest door or the southeast door?
Southwest. No, I lied.
Southwest.
Yes. I'm just gonna walk right through the wall. How about that?
Well, the southwest. You mean the door that's facing southwest? The southeast is actually facing south, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's facing directly south.
Okay. Holt, what's your resistance to fire?
5.
Ooh. So you grab onto that doorknob and you quickly ungrab a hold of that doorknob, taking 5 fire damage.
Ow, fuck!
You alright?
Yeah, it's just too hot to touch.
That being said,
Shit.
the door looks like it's made out of wood. And there's some smoke coming out of it.
Solandra, what do the goggles say about this here door?
Anything?
Nope. Well, I mean, it does show that it's ensorcelled dark wood. Dark wood is very fire resistant.
It's a pretty robust door against fire.
Is it locked?
It is.
Is that what I think is keeping the door from being opened?
Yes.
I think the heat
Cool.
is not coming from the door itself. It's coming from what's on the other side of the door.
Okay, take a few steps back.
I'm going to take a lot of steps back.
I will also take a lot of step backs.
And get out of the direct path of the blast furnace that might come out of it.
Jakara's range is 40, so I'm going to stand at 30 and shoot the lock off.
Sounds good.
Okay. With a 28.
Oh, that hits.
Cool. Do I need to roll damage?
Yes.
Okay. Seven plus 8 is 15.
15. And with that, the lock flies off. It flies off its part of the door, and the door snaps open, breaks off its hinges, and flies across the room. You
Whoa.
are all assaulted with a very, very powerful heat. And inside are just 4 of these boys hanging out. They are sitting in the center of the floor, and they appear to be playing some sort of game, but like all of the currency is hot coals, and the game pieces are other different kinds of hot coals.
Are they fire elementals, lava elementals, free?
Demon.
They are 4 elder fire elementals. I'm sorry, not elder, greater.
Okay. Whoa.
I give a little wave and reholster my gun.
One of them waves back, but then just sort of like immediately turns his attention back to the board.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we know what's on the other side of that door.
Also, don't get too close to the doorway. It's stupid hot in there.
Yeah, we're not... No.
Is there a gem in there?
What was that?
Is there a gem in there?
There is not a gem in there, but there is another summoning symbol on the other side of the wall.
Any sign of any exits from that room, from what we can see from far away from the door?
Yes, you can see that there is... Womp, 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 womp. Oh, never mind, you can't see anything. Oh,
Too
actually,
smoky.
like, based from the angle of the dangle, there is definitely a doorway that leads to another room on its eastern side.
Alright, is there any way of opening this room into the cold room?
No, this one goes into a different room.
Okay.
And if
Just
there
curious.
is a passage, another entrance to room 16, you do not have enough information to determine that.
Okay.
I'm not saying there is, but I'm not saying there isn't either.
One possibility is that we may have to, in order to navigate this, open a door between these rooms. Let them cancel each other out. Yeah, it's assuming that it might also still tie back to that other damn gem over in with the golems.
I agree.
Yeah, the golems looked pretty bad at first glance, but honestly, I'd rather fight those than these.
Well, the golems are renewable too. I think that's the whole point of the factory, is if we destroy the golems, the factory kicks in and produces more. So all of these things, the factory, the summoning circles, they're all to make sure that this place gets ramped back up as soon as someone blows through it.
How many others discovered its dark secrets? I don't know, man.
I don't think many would have gotten this far.
You're correct.
Try the other door then.
Good idea.
The southwest in 13.
Does that feel any unusual?
Nope.
Is it locked?
It is... Fuck. I'm looking in the wrong section to figure out whether that door is fucking locked. It is not locked. It's made out of wood. It is stuck, though. You unstick it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to make you roll.
Alright, thank you.
13, does it extend a little bit down? Yeah, it does extend below the bottom of room 12. And so you would think that this room with the fire elementals would have to connect to the ice room.
Well, I probably can't leave and go down the hallway, you know? I probably could find to that room.
Oh no, I meant the rooms themselves that they're connecting.
Oh.
At some point, right? I mean, unless I'm missing my. Since that room was in room 12, and then this room is connecting to room 13, they'd have to be right side by side almost.
I'm glad you can keep track of this.
Ronald, am I mistaking your
You're not
math?
wrong.
Okay.
But you realize as you open the door to room 17 that there is another problem.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, look! It's time for more science.
But
Weird
these are
science.
tanks, like upright tanks, not those other fancy things that were half laid down.
Those were for sleeping people. This seems to be for making people.
Oh dear.
Flesh golems?
I don't like this.
What's the knowledge for golems? What would that even be?
That's kind of.
I'll allow it.
There's two. It's the engineering for like the
Stone ones and stuff.
Yeah, and then Arcana is just sort of the general map of them.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous. Like 39.
Oh yeah. I mean, these shouldn't be flesh golems, but they have all the symptoms of flesh golems. You don't know much about the science behind it, but you look at one of these things and you're like, yeah, that thing will probably like attack whatever comes close, or probably has orders or something.
I don't like these.
They're not more of Marduk's followers, are they?
No, these are things. I mean, they're not. They've never been people.
Well, I mean, technically, they're not more of Marduk's followers, but they are more Marduk's followers, if you follow.
Pieces of them, yeah.
That's horrifying.
I hate this room.
Clementine?
Yeah?
This place seems like half really in tune with you and half absolutely opposed to you.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Like, elementals are, that's you all over, and then this stuff
is just wrong.
But here's the thing. Everybody make a wisdom or charisma check, whichever is greater.
Charisma!
Yeah!
19 for wisdom
18.
check.
16 charisma!
18 charisma.
You're all chatting it out, and you finish each other's sentences as you're thinking about, like, flesh golems, stone golems, and elementals. What do they all have in common? They all follow orders.
Yep.
Oh. There we have it.
Well, I also think the elementals might have been supplied by Kira. I mean, that glyph is her work.
So she did have a hand in the creation of this place.
So, shouldn't she be able to give us some advice?
Yeah.
The advice that she gave was, yeah, you could destroy those holy symbols, but, you could destroy those elemental symbols, but if you fuck it up, you could open a gate to that plane permanently. And that would be bad.
Well, I was also contemplating selling the glyphs on the consortium, but then I thought about the fact that someone might actually buy them who would be bad.
That's the issue when you're dealing with ultra capitalists. Like, everything is just a product to be bought and sold. All that matters is someone paid the full gold value for it.
Yep. So I'm sure we could sell them on the consortium. I'm also sure that I will probably regret it afterwards.
Well, you would live long enough to regret it, probably, yes.
That is the problem of being an elf.
All right. So in the fleshy golemy room, is there an exit?
There are exits.
Exits.
There is an eastern exit and a western exit. Like, you look around and you're like, oh, this is right up against room 16, so there's got to be a way. There's got to be oh, yep, there it is. And then down in the other corner, on the western side of room 17, there is an entrance that would have to enter room 16 based on what you saw of its size. There might be other doors or secret doors or whatever, but you can't see any of them from this vantage point.
So the two rooms, one's for the fire room, the ice room?
Yes.
Okay.
And 17 is the connecting chamber.
Okay. If we can break down the walls between these.
You will create a lukewarm existence somewhere in between.
Yeah, we will wake up the water elementals, piss off the fire elementals.
And then all of these flesh golems will awaken as well. Yes.
This sounds like a terrible idea.
I mean, unless they would attack each other, but I get the impression that
Yeah, they probably wouldn't.
They would be confined to their rooms, awake and angry.
The flesh golems are a toss-up. You don't know what their orders are.
Do they really have those little screens in front of them with presumably information?
Absolutely. But
I would like to
manipulating those would presume, one, that you can read them, and two, that that won't wake them all up.
Well, I don't want to touch it. I just want to look at it.
Do you enter the room?
Yes.
Okay. You enter the room. All of the pod people snap to attention and start staring at you. They regard you quizzically as like something strange and foreign, like a human pinning a butterfly, or Michael Myers killing a teenager.
So, I know. I presume I got high my knowledge. I kind of know like things about not using lightning on a flesh golem.
Yes.
Okay. Clementine, if we get into this, assuming they're anything like the flesh golems I've studied, don't use lightning.
Oh, damn. Good to know. Thank you.
What do you mean, don't use lightning?
Don't use it.
It is what they run on.
Also,
Uh-oh.
don't bother using magic at all. They're immune to it.
I was about to say magic is almost useless again.
Cool, so I can just clobber it.
Mhm.
I hold up my tiny fists.
I have one trick up my sleeve that should affect them.
How about we just don't?
I think that at this point, if I'm reading this right, we have to tackle one of the two groups of golems. Either the stone golems or these things.
How many of these pods are there?
8 are full. There are 12 pods total.
And these things, are they actually like a medium creature sized?
I think they're large. They are large.
Oh,
So they're like 12 feet tall, made of radiation.
Made of radiation?
It's a joke.
Oh.
Thought.
No, Brad Neely.
Oh.
Washington, 20 stories tall, made of radiation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He'll save children, but not the British children. He'll save children, but not Hulk's unborn children.
The classic flesh golem from D&D was an absolute rip-off of Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, yeah. But I decided to make it all the more discomforting.
I don't like these guys at all, and if we go in to fight them, there's not going to be much I can do.
Oh, and Holt, when you enter, you notice that there is another door. It is on the southeastern side. You don't know where it leads. It doesn't lead into room 18. There is a center door that leads into room 18. Like right behind one of the like there's a gap in the tubes to have a door open to the fire golem room.
So, Ronald, can you give us like a little snipping tool section of the map? So,
I can make that happen.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Like I'm keeping notes, but
I think I understand what this is, but I am really directionally impaired. I get lost in video games.
Me too.
It's very sad. It's pathetic when you beat a dungeon and then you find yourself wandering in the empty dungeon.
Unable to get out.
Like, where the fuck is the exit?
Lord, right?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you.
Never mind. That's the old image that I sent.
Oh, yep.
This is more maps for real.
This time, it's for real.
Oh.
okay.
So 16 is the cold room.
Yeah.
And 18 is the hot room.
Yes.
17 is the flesh golem room.
Yes.
And there's another door at the bottom of 17, which we can't see here, which leads to... Okay. Got it.
And there's another door at the bottom of 17 that leads into 16.
And so the room we haven't seen at all is 14.
Okay.
You guys have thrown out a lot of magic.
I've got more. I can handle a fight or two more.
I've got one good fight in me.
Yeah, but not this fight. I don't. You're not going to use much magic.
Yeah.
There's a door at the end of the room that I can see from here. That doesn't go to either of the elemental rooms. So we may need to return here.
All right.
I think we have two choices: this room or the other room. Going after the crystal in the room with the other golem.
Do I know if if stone golems are resistant to magic?
They are immune to magic.
Okay.
The only thing is that some golems can be affected by things that are really, really targeted towards what they're made out of.
Mm.
So,
But no one guarantees it. The other thing is that if you summon something powerful enough to hurt them, that will work.
Okay. That I can do.
Yeah. So your best bets would probably be your own elemental forms. Well, even then, that might not work. Like, probably the earth elemental is the only thing that would be guaranteed to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the others are going to be something they're immune to.
Right.
And the same thing for your summons. Things that do kind of damage, like fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to do much.
Right.
I don't think.
Mm.
And if only you could summon that elder purple worm.
Right?
Cap, looking at all of these faceless nothing people gives you flashbacks to the Promethean game.
I was thinking that.
mm-hmm.
If only I could find that image that I used for them.
Is this the White Wolf Promethean you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good game.
The primary set of antagonist goons were a series of clones known only as the Faceless. And they're people. They're shaped like people, but like they're utterly expressionless, and they all just sort of like dress generically. Like, if life was a television show, these would be the extras that you don't pay attention to. And they weren't particularly effective, but they were cheap. You could make one for $3, and you could have a lot of them active at once. So, like, quantity had a quality all to its own when it came to these guys. Their major notable advantage was being able to take a lot of damage before dying.
And being mean.
They were super mean.
Yeah, they were super mean.
And Christ, there were a lot of them.
Yeah, fuck you for that.
They put the Christ in Christ, this is annoying.
So I'm looking at the room, and I'm looking at my Wall of Stone spell.
Yep.
So my it's 1 inch thick per 4 caster levels. So it's 12 inches thick. So it's a foot thick.
Yeah.
Would I Do I think that I would be able to cast this over one half of these dudes and prevent them from leaving their pods?
Yes, but it would also prevent you from going forward, of course. Oh, you mean one half of the room? Yes. You could do that.
Yes, like doing it like vertically.
Of the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could lock off either the west or eastern side of the room, but there are doors on either on the western and eastern side.
Okay.
Once you cast the spell, that thing doesn't go away. So,
Until it's broken down.
Yeah.
Don't block the eastern side.
Okay.
Oh, huh. Yeah, that thing's just there until someone breaks it.
Yep. Yeah, I memorized it too because again, it's something that.
It's just a good thing to have in your pocket.
You know, if someone gets a 44 strength check, they can break the whole wall down, but unfortunately, only the Kool-Aid Man is any good at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, Kool-Aid Man. Oh, no.
And the cool thing about Wall of Stone is that you can shape the wall. So you can, like, make a great wall. A wall of iron has to be fucking straight. Because if you warp that iron, you'll fuck it up.
I'm not gonna warp the iron.
So, do you want to wall up the western side of room 17?
If this is what we want to do, yes.
Okay. Crunch. Walls up.
Walls up. Walls holding.
Like, I think these guys could eventually break it down, but it would take them... hashtag a while. Because it only has 8 hardness, and they are capable of doing more than 8 damage.
How many hit points? Let's see.
The wall has a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
And there would be 4 of them, but still, it would take them, like, days, weeks even. But, hey, golems never get tired.
That's good, because I get tired of them.
So the wall goes up. Anything else?
All right, let's
step in further, draw my sword.
All right, I'm casting Heart of Metal. That is, I'm using a chunk of adamantium, and it's making. I am making all of our adamantium.
That's good.
That's awesome.
All of our what?
Weapons overcome adamantium damage reduction.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
That was my card.
Oh shit, I activated your trap card. So you're all in there. You're gonna open which door are you gonna open? The door to Fire Elemental Room or the door that you don't know where it goes?
The door we don't know where it goes.
Secret door.
And as soon as your hand touches that doorknob, those pods fucking open up, shedding eldritch goo all over the floor, and the flesh golems are just staring at you all, and they have very unappreciative looks on their faces.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Roll initiative. And put it in the chat.
Big money, big money, big money, big money. Not bad.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Who'd have thought flesh golems have shitty initiative? Homestead would have suspected. No, it's not Salarnda.
Oh shit, I forgot to change my icon.
How could you?
I know.
You dingus. Salandra.
Dave and I never forget to change our icons.
I'm always Slandra in all my games, so.
Huh. Salandra, you go first.
Okay. Where are we positioned in this room?
You're all mostly positioned toward the southern side. There is one golem that is immediately next to you, and 3 more are up the hallway.
So essentially, Clementine made this into a narrow corridor.
Yeah,
So probably only one of them can get at us at a time, right?
2 of them can squeak in, but only the 2.
Okay, if 2 of them can squeak in, then definitely 2 of us can, or all 3 of us probably can be facing.
Clementine, do you have the swarm fighting feat?
I do not.
Then you can't. Then she can't squeak in there.
All right.
I'm just gonna run to you before we start the fight.
I'm gonna use a swift action to haste myself. And am I close enough to make a full attack on these guys, or?
You are not close enough to make a full attack on the closest golem.
Okay, I am instead going to cast Stone Skin on myself. And since they're probably going to come after me, that seems like more effective use of my time.
All right, Holt, it is your turn.
Excellent. So I would like to note that in drawing Audra, I have not activated the lightning effect.
Oh yes, you have the ability to turn that on and off.
Yup.
Chosen wisely.
I'm gonna listen to Solandra.
The last thing you needed are hasted golems.
Yeah, that's not something that I want.
Oh, it also heals them.
Yeah. Great. I'm gonna move up to attack the first guy coming out of his pod.
So, you get in close on him, and oh, whoops, he has long arms. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 33.
He throws a big golem-y fist at you, and it just totally whiffs. Like, you just parry it with your shield, and you're like, oh, wow, that's a big golem-y fist.
Better not let that actually hit me for real. Vital Strike this motherfucker. Oh, do they not?
Oh, no, that was just me going, in distress at getting Vital Struck.
Oh, okay.
Someone was telling me, what's the point of Vital Strike? I'm like, you can use it on a charge. You keep all your attacks without going into pounce like a maniac.
Okay. I gotta get out my handy-dandy calculator.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tossing some numbers at you, big boy. It's 14... 39 damages.
That's a lot of damages.
Yeah, we're doing 4d4s now. 4d10s.
How much damage?
39
Oh,
slashing damage.
Okay. Goodbye, horses. Calling after
Okay, I'm back.
you. All right. Next are the golems. This golem looks at you and does not like you.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So he will punch you. It misses with its first attack, and then it misses with its second attack.
Woo!
Throwing those big, wide punches. The other golems pile in a manner that would almost be comical if they're if they weren't so just vile and disgusting. Also, you can hear the golems on the other side of the wall pounding against the wall.
Which is kind of creepy in its own right.
Right. It's creepy, but you're like, oh, good thing we don't have to worry about that. And like, you don't. Meanwhile, Solandra, 2 of the golems are going to attack you. What's your armor class?
25. And I've got their attacks aren't adamantine either.
Their attacks are not adamantine.
Okay, so I have 10 DR.
Alright, one of them hits you for 3 points of damage, and the next one hits you for 1 point of damage.
Nice.
And then Clementine, it's your turn.
All right. So it's pretty
Crowded.
pretty crowded in here. So how high is this?
It is 15 feet high.
Okay.
These golems, their heads almost touch the ceiling.
Okay. In that case, I can't summon who I wanted to summon. He's too big.
Can I ask you one quick question? If it doesn't say that the component is expended, does that mean that you use the component?
What?
If it doesn't say a component is expended, does that mean that the component is reusable?
No.
Right,
if it's a material component, it's expended. If it's a focus, it can be reused.
Okay, all right. That's how I've been playing it. I wanted to double check because I was wondering if I had been screwing myself up.
Yeah, like for Wall of Stone, for instance, there is a material component, which is a small block of granite, and then there is a divine focus, which is also a small block of granite.
Right. I've been spending money to get iterations of expensive things.
Right. Did I waste all my money? No, you did not.
Good.
That diamond dust, or what does stone skin take?
A 250 gold piece is a diamond dust.
Yep, diamond dust. Everybody needs them. Anyway, back to the top. Oh wait, no, Clem. Yes, Clem.
Let me take my turn.
Nope,
Okay, I summon a manticore.
Oh, hello. I assume it's on the other side of them.
Yes.
Hello, Manticore.
Hello.
Hello, big boy.
He is a big boy. And
wait, are you rolling for its attack?
Oh no, I was shaking out ibuprofen into my hand.
Okay.
I'm rolling damage reduction on Pidge from Cramp Monster.
Good call. Good work. Back to the top of initiative. Your Manticore suffers summoning sickness and looks around and is like, what the fuck? And you're like, just smack these things. And it's like, alright, Haas, whatever you say, defender of nature. So Salandra, it's your turn.
Okay, so I have two of them. Are they... do they come up right to me, or am I in there?
These two came up right to you, and they used their long arms to, like, one of them punched around the other one, and then the other one was really close and punched you, so you can full attack one of them.
Okay. You know something? I'm just gonna do. I'm not even gonna bother trying to do a spell. Avoiding spell combat for like the first time. But I am hasted. So that gives me...
Oh god, okay, so depending on a Manticore's mate, they make other creatures.
Alright, so I am hovering a bit above the ground. Why? And I'm making my attacks. So that is a 27 hit.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a crappy roll. 37. 29. And a 24 on my lame last one.
24 still hits.
Ah, okay. I'm just going with all the normal stuff. Oh, I'm hasted, so actually those were a little better than that. 11, 12, 23. Oh, fuck. Change this die. Alright, so 34 so far. And then 15 on top of that. 49 points of damage total. These guys aren't susceptible to crits, right?
Nope.
All right, I had one that was in threat range.
Yeah, these creatures do not have a discernible anatomy. There's nothing in there worth attacking.
All right, they are.
Chop off its head. It shrugs.
Not my favorite targets.
Then it is Holt's turn, fighting Golem number 1.
I have exciting news. As a 16th level fighter, I have 4 attacks in a full attack action.
And hey, if you drop this golem, you can attack the golem that's attacking Salandra, because they're both close.
Oh boy, here we go. So first is going to be a 34 to hit.
Oh, you hit.
Second one, 27 to hit.
Oh, that's a hit.
The third one, a 35 to hit.
That's a hit.
And the fourth one, a 22 to hit.
22 also hits.
Okay. Let's hit it with some damage. With some piddly damage, Holt. First attack, 17. Second attack, 23. Third attack, 24. And fourth attack is 20. So
Could you...
a total of...
So after the first 2 attacks, you killed the first golem, and then on your second 2 attacks, you killed the other golem.
Oh, damn, okay.
And
Carving right through them.
And then the golems do not move in. They maintain their range. 2 of them try to punch you, Halt. They fail miserably. Meanwhile, Salandra, you take 7 points of damage.
Is that's past my...
Yeah, that's including your DR. And then you take 2 points of damage. Punch, punch. Oh wait, they each get 2 attacks. Oh no, wait, I rolled twice for both golems. What the fuck am I doing? Guys, what am I smoking? Cigarettes?
Yeah. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, that was like between the 2 of us, and there was 8 attacks. So.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Clementine, it's your turn. And
all right.
turn.
Okay, Manticore's gonna go first. All right, so let's see. So he's gonna do his volley of 4 spikes.
Ouch. Pidge.
Yes.
You critically succeed your wisdom check. You don't want to do that.
Too many spikes, too small space.
No. Problem number 1. Problem number 1, they're immune to poison. Problem number 2, the spikes will split the damage up, and these things do have damage reduction.
Okay. So he will do a bite then. He's got a bite and 2 claws. So the one farthest from the party is who he will attack.
Right.
Okay.
Like the claws have the highest chance of doing damage.
Okay. Sorry, I've got to do a little bit of math because I've got augment summoning.
You fucking maniac.
Does a... Oh, fuck. Does a 28 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so that's the bite.
I always thought the scorpion tail was much cooler than the spikes on manticores.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So 10 damage on the bite. Okay. First claw is 16.
That does not hit.
Okay. And second claw is 26.
That hits.
Okay. And then it does 9 damage. So for a total of 19 damage from the bite and the hit claw.
Minus DR.
Minus DR. Sorry.
And then it goes back up to Salandra.
It's still Clementine's turn.
Oh wait, Clementine, you get to do something on your action.
Thank you. I'm going
more
to.
Than just a manticore.
I am a Clementine, who's going to cast a quick cure light wounds onto Salandra. Pat.
Yeah, you notice Salandra's skin has turned oddly metallic and or no stone.
Okay. And you heal 9 points of damage.
Ooh, top. Now it is back to the top of it.
Oops.
Salandra, is it Golem Stomping Day?
Alright. Can I approach the golem without taking an attack? Or am I gonna...
may, by using a 5-foot step.
I will take a 5-foot step.
5-foot steps are a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
5-foot step, and let's shred these fuckers.
Oh, monster.
Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, another hit. I'm getting annoyed. Now I'm rolling like critical threats. And a marginal. Oh yeah, 24 hit. I think
Yep.
So it's probably like a 25. All right, so 4 more hits. Ugh. Not better. 11, 15, 16, 12. All right. 11 and 15 is 26, plus 16 is 42, plus 12 is 54.
Okay.
And all adamantine, so.
Yep. You slap the shit out of this golem. Holt, it's your turn to slap the shit out of your golem.
I would love to slap the shit out of him. Is he within a 5 step?
Yes.
Awesome.
In order for them to punch over and under the shoulders of their brothers. It was weird. You were fighting fucking Shiva God of Death over here.
Ah, shit, I rolled a 3. That means I only got a 30
Oh,
on my first attack.
Wait a second, you rolled 27 before. Oh, jeez. Oh no, that's right. The bonuses go down. I forgot.
Yeah, the bonuses are incredible. I have put all my eggs in one heavy sword-shaped basket. Second attack, a 37.
Yep. One of these days, somebody's gonna disintegrate that thing. Not naming names.
Third attack, a 20.
20 meet the beat.
Fuck yes. And then the last one, a 24.
That hits. Chop this.
All right,
golem.
let's chop this golem.
Chopping that meat.
Somebody's been playing Fallout.
I actually have never played Fallout.
Really? I've never heard that song out of that context.
I just hear it from you fucks.
Ooh, that's sick cultural osmosis footage.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the damage separator.
You're welcome.
So it's going to be 15, 21, 20, and 20 points of slashing damage.
It's a lot of damage.
So that's a total of 76 points of slashing damage.
It is not bad. It's hanging on to like... so as you chop these things up, you look inside its musculature and just like, oh, that thing looks wrong in there. Those muscles are supposed to be pink and fleshy. Like, these things don't bleed much. Like, when you cut someone, blood goes everywhere. That's just what happens. These things, like, yeah, you're cutting them open. Yeah, there's blood and organs in there, but like, and they're swapping fluids, but like, there's not as much as there should be.
That's almost more disturbing than the things themselves.
And then it is Clementine's turn.
Alright. So, Manticore goes first.
Yes.
Oops.
Is it going to continue attacking the same golem or split up to a different golem?
He's gonna keep going on the same golem.
Okay.
Just gonna keep pounding away. Alright, so does a 24 hit?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Alright. So that is plus 5. 7 damage. Okay. First claw does not hit.
Oh.
Second claw super does not hit.
Oh. His claws are just like scraping up against this golem like a fucking scratching post. Just like, God damn it.
Damn it.
Salandra.
How many golems do we have left on our side? On
2.
the side of the wall?
There are 2 left on this side of the wall.
More like 1 and a 16th of 1.
Yes. I'm about to say both of these golems are not bloodied, not ickered. You get the
Just
point.
almost carved all the way through.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're missing chunks.
Alright, I'm gonna reach out and touch friends. Which is to say, I'm gonna reach out. Would I know if a bleed spell, are they immune to like that too?
Yeah, there's nothing for them to bleed. They are technically considered constructs.
This is extremely difficult.
That's what constructs are all about.
What are you talking about? This is fine.
It's fine.
Look at it this way: your wall of stone cut the fight in half.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's fair. That's
you
fair.
could be fighting 8 golems right now.
All right. Fuck it. I'm just gonna hold my action.
Salandra, it's your turn.
Okay. Oh, why don't you just fucking die?
Not done yet.
It's 7 plus 20. Plus 1 attack rolls. Oh yeah, never mind. Right. Still, so that's 30. Never mind. Plus 18, 33. Uh, 20?
Yes, a 20 hits.
Okay.
Yay.
Yippee!
Okay. First one. Open the chat. Tell me if it dies. Won't die from that one, I expect.
You may attack Golem 4 now.
Okay. That's 11.
Golem 4 has been defeated.
Oh, that was gross. Fuck. I got chunks of them in my hair.
Prestidigitation it.
Yeah, I'll clean my chunks of golem off me and hold.
Thank you.
Oh man, you got one stuck behind your horn. Yeah.
Ew.
Clementine, could you help me get this out?
Yeah, but you have to bend down, please.
Okay, I do so.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want that drying up.
No, it'll never get out of my hair.
That'd be bad.
Fuck.
And as you guys are doing this, the tubes close up, refill with fluid, and then some things come down and start making more golems.
All right, let's keep going.
How long
Okay,
is this gonna take? This process gonna take?
You're not really sure. You would estimate it at minutes.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're moving.
I don't know enough about technology to sabotage these things, I presume.
You're also reasonably certain that like if you smashed them or broke them, it would probably piss off something, like the chimeras, perhaps. And I mean, hey, if you want to fight 30 goddamn chimeras, you go right the fuck ahead.
I don't want to do that.
How many chimeras? I'm sorry, it's only 20. It's only 24 chimeras.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's fine. And I mean, I still think if they all came at you one at a time, eventually there'd be just too many chimeras. So are you going through the southeastern door?
Yes.
Okay.
Finally.
It leads to a hallway. At the end of the hallway, there is a locked door. It's made out of wood. You smash it open.
Yes, I do.
Beyond that is a room filled with four stone golems. They do not appear to be at attention. I'm sorry, not stone. Iron golems. They do not seem to be at attention. They're just sort of hanging out.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it. Oh.
And around them are just like a series of like crates. And it crates. The room smells deeply of bleach.
Well, okay. I mean, we could probably handle one or two. Or?
Everybody make a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden golem. No, I'm not going that far.
A 7.
14.
Hit 3?
Hull.
It was a 4.
So, Hull, you're
Yeah.
looking at these golems, and you're just looking at how they're constructed.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find a good iron golem image. What the fuck? Why is there nothing but Minecraft? I don't want Minecraft iron
No,
golems.
no. You want the Dark Souls Iron Golem boss.
Oh,
I also don't want that.
Oh.
for the record, the Heart of Metal lasts for 1 minute per caster level, so it should still be in effect. But you might want to just keep us apprised of the time, just because I'm gonna have to recast it.
So you're looking around the room and you're like, oh fuck, we can't fight these golems. And then you spot this. And you realize, I mean, these guys could probably punch us to death.
They're a cleaning crew. They don't have
I was
weapons.
about to say, they're not armed. They see, like, and, like, this room smells like bleach. This place is filled with cleaning supplies. They probably also, if they are truly the keepers of the keys, so to speak, they probably do maintenance.
Do they seem hostile?
Nope. They're just standing like the golems that were defending the crystal, they were clearly like looking at you being like, don't you touch that crystal. But these golems are just sort of like standing at attention, chilling out.
Are these like the typical iron golems, freaking huge?
No,
Giant-sized
these
monsters?
ones are actually medium sized.
Oh,
They
okay.
so that they can fit through the doors conveniently. For the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to alter their stats.
I think we'll be fine going through here as long as we don't spill any.
Oh god, don't spill anything. Don't bleed on the floor.
I take up my cloak and make sure to clean off Toby's hooves. And then my own feet while I'm at it.
Press to digitate everything.
I would like to step into this room.
You step into the room. Nothing happens.
Are there any doors in this room?
There are doors in this room. There is a door to the south.
And?
Oh, and an archway. Oh, I should mention this room is fucking hot as shit because there's an archway that leads to the fire elemental room.
Okay.
get you figure you're thinking about it, and you're like, oh, they send all living trash to the fire elemental room. They send all dead trash to room 6.
That makes sense.
Okay. The not fire elemental room. I would like to try that door.
The door is unlocked and made of wood.
Okay. Open it right up.
There is an incredibly long hallway that leads to room 19.
I'm sure that this isn't trapped at all.
No, of course not.
Old says.
The door to room 19 is unlocked, and it's.
I take up the goggles and I look at Clementine. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'd like to take a look. I peek.
You peek at the door. It is a normal door. It's a very sweet looking door. Here we go.
Ooh, that is a nice looking door.
Mahogany.
Mahogany, you say?
Excuse me. I don't know if it's actually made out of mahogany. It's just a nice looking door. There doesn't seem to be anything magical.
Isn't mahogany like usually super dark?
Don't worry about it.
No,
I just said mahogany because it's a great word.
it's gorgeous.
Isn't it?
I lower the goggles and then put them up again. Yeah, it's beautiful both ways. I hand them back to Salandra.
All right, let's give this door a try.
I hate this fucking place.
You open up the door. Inside there is another Marduk plinth with the hologram on it. Doesn't appear to be saying anything, and it's just sort of like looking off the space, and like it's just standing there with its like hands crossed, you know, just sort of like waiting for something.
Do you answer questions?
Do you ask it if it answers questions?
Yeah.
A few. It responds like in a canned response. Like the hologram breaks, and then like he's in a different position, and he just says a few.
Any information you can volunteer to us now?
You have to ask the question.
What is the use of the cold gems?
The gem protected by the golems turns on or turns off the one that is freezing the next room over, he says, pointing to the door that must lead to room 16.
Ha! I knew it.
Very good, Hole. Well done.
Yep.
He's way too pleased with himself.
If your goal is to present the truth to people, why make it so hard to enter your tomb?
He sort of like turns away for a minute and says, I thought when I ascended to godhood, I knew there would be more rules. Little did I know that there were still rules while I stood foot on the earth.
Okay.
Also, I didn't want people to lose hope.
Too much of a good thing?
No. What I offer is miserable and terrible.
Fair enough.
Alright, this is kind of a personal question. Kira, sorry if it bothers you. Why is the you now always so ambivalent with Kira?
I don't know the exact nature of your question, but I can tell that you asked about my wife. It's complicated. Go deeper in and I'll be able to explain it to you more there. The room beyond the freezing room is the one that I am actually in.
No, you're not.
It smiles and just says, yes, I am. Clementine, this is the only time you've ever seen Marduk smile. It's creepy. And the smile is that sort of like, bitch, you don't know.
Bitch, I might be.
Bitch, I might be in the real... I might really be in the next room. You don't know.
We have a need for a scion of Marduk. We've lost ours. Is there a way of regaining that power for a time?
You are asking about scionhood. You will have to ask the true Marduk about that.
Have there been any others to make it this far?
No.
Oh.
The secret has rested safe for, and like his mouth opens and glitches out, and it just, like it's just like years.
Is the only way to reach the heart of your tomb through the golems and ice room?
Yes.
All right.
You get the distinct impression that he probably recorded like a couple hundred numbers to get it right, and just oops, took too long.
Like the Morrowind candle thing.
Sort of, just like he probably recorded 1 through 300, and he was like, "Yeah, they'll find it before 300 years." Boy, was he wrong.
Where is it safe to rest here?
Nothing will disturb or accost you in a room with me in it.
Okay.
With any of your images in these plinths?
Yes. Everybody make a wisdom check.
Got it.
A 9.
A 16.
18!
Nice.
Damn.
Clem and Solandra, you also realize, room 12 is probably also safe because it's got the tapestries. That's probably going to count.
Cool.
So 4, 12, and 19 are safe spaces.
Beautiful.
5 had a plinth, but it also was filled... I'm sorry, 10. 10 had a plinth, but it was also filled with pod people, so you're like, probably not. There's something wrong going on in room 10, so this guy's
I do not want to sleep in that room.
Yeah, this guy's information is probably just suspect.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's see how smart this thing is. Your people in room 10 seem possessed. Do you know this?
The word possessed is not in my vocabulary.
Salandra, he can't be smart. He's not a real person, or he's just an echo.
Yeah, I know.
You can't ask an echo questions.
I mean,
Well, it depends. An echo of a god is not necessarily without some intelligence.
I am not a god. I am a man.
I agree.
Huh.
I mean, despite your atheism, smugness, you're like, that probably is in reference to something else as well. And like, you know, in between every conversation, like the hologram just sort of like sways there, expectantly waiting.
So, is this room a dead end?
He says, "No, you may enter the antechamber through that door." He says, gesturing to the eastern door of room 19, and he says antechamber, so that leads you to believe that it's the room before the tomb, so it'd be room 16.
Okay, we don't want to go there yet.
I mean, you could. What's stopping you?
We have to go back through this flesh golems, I think.
Yes.
Is the rub.
And if you want to get through there, you should probably hurry before they reconstruct themselves.
Let's get out of here.
Let's hustle.
You guys boogie through room 15
Oh,
through the hallway.
Hold on, before we leave. Kira, any other questions you can recommend?
Salandra, now do you boogie?
Yep.
Okay. Y'all boogie, and like as you're running through room 17, like as you run through and get into room 13, like you can hear that the golems are reconstructed because the tubes open up and 4 more golems pop out, and then they start smashing the wall too.
No. Oh. I hate those. I hate them. I hate them.
Well, there's a very good chance the next time we come to this room that
Clementine, that was a great idea.
Thank you. I just really didn't want them to touch me.
I don't blame you. That was extremely gross, and prestidigitation isn't going to make the smell go.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
You guys got that golem juice on you.
Ugh.
Prestidigitation masks the odor. It does not eliminate it.
I kind of visualize the effect is if you went into a slaughterhouse and started hacking at a bunch of cow carcasses with a fire axe.
That is very much what it's like, yes.
Yeah.
So what room are you guys going to rest in?
I say 12.
Do we want to rest now, or do you want to tackle the golem?
Stone golems?
I mean, that's up to you. I can keep going.
I would rather start fresh. I don't know how tough the pair of these guys will be, and unless we want to start a fight and then finish it later, I don't think so.
Also, we don't have to go back through the room with the elementals, remember? We can get to the golem room through the hallway with the fire.
Yep.
Very true.
And I can adjust my spells a little bit so that I have more prepared for the stuff we run into.
Exactly. That way we'll know what we're going to be facing. I say we rest here. And I can use the spells that I have left to make sure we're all feeling good and healthy.
Excellent.
Does everybody like that idea?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Can I just the rest of healing?
Yes.
You're breaking up, darling.
Okay.
No, I got it. I assume that you just wanted to heal everyone before you rest.
Yep.
I assume you have enough healing spells. I don't know how many
Yeah.
healing spells you have, but shut my mouth, you have enough. Everybody gets fully healed. Is anybody going to keep any watches?
Yes.
Clementine, are you going to memorize that walled stone again?
Yeah, that was really helpful.
All right, just I took it too, but if you have to try it, I can use something else.
Yeah, I'll get that one.
Hold,
I have-
are you just not sleeping tonight?
I'm not sleeping tonight. I slept the night before.
Oh, okay, you're good.
Oh, do you want me to take a watch so you can sleep?
No, I don't have any magic to recover. I'll wake you guys up if the earth columns start to come through that archway.
You got it.
So everybody else goes to sleep. Holt, it's very lonely and very boring. Like, you can't help but just, like, look at the tapestries on the wall. Eventually you get disturbed by an earth elemental fucking plopping out of the wall. with a loud thud. Don't ask me how or why, but the other people sleep through it, and just like there's another earth elemental, and it lines up in front of the door to room 10. After that, 30 flesh golems walk out of the door from room 13, but none of them seem like they want to like kill you or do anything. They don't even notice you. Do you do anything about them?
30 flesh golems?
Yes.
Are they marching in a particular direction?
Yes, they seem to be trying to get to room 7.
Through room 12?
Yes.
I'm gonna wake up the others.
Okay. So you wake the others. You wake the others up, and there are flesh golems marching through your room.
No, what the fuck?
Shh! I don't think that they notice us.
And then they are followed by a series of iron golems wielding dustpans and sledgehammers. And then everybody goes up into room 7, and only the iron golems come back.
What the hell? Did they just throw themselves down that hole?
I'm gonna take a look in room 7.
You go into room 7. There's no sign of flesh golems.
Unless they've moved up.
I'm gonna take a look in room 6.
Okay, so there are so many flesh golems. They're sort of like pouring out of the hole in the floor, and like it's like logs going into a wood chipper. Like the level is just slowly descending as more flesh golems jump on top of the pile.
I closed the door. I realized that I broke that door. I would like to put it back.
Okay. I should mention. So before you go into room 6, the door has been locked again. So
well, then fuck it. I guess I'm not going into room 6.
No, it's too late. It's too late. You've already seen too much. You break down the door to room 6 again. You're like, oh, the iron golems must have fixed it. And you go in there, and then you see the flesh golems going in the chute, and you're like, all right, I'm out.
All right, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Go back to the others and be like, yeah, they were throwing themselves in the garbage pit for some reason.
Happens to the best of us.
We've all been there, I think. Okay, that was
garbage
strange.
pail, brand new garbage pail.
Does everybody go back to resting?
Well, if I was gonna sleep before, I sure as fuck aren't now.
You ever seen Snowpiercer? Yeah, this dungeon.
Yeah.
This dungeon is a completely self-sustaining entity.
Yeah.
Anyway, you all awaken sometime later, rested with all of your spells.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Yay.
Hey, have you guys heard of some weird thing in New York where, like, it's a sort of performance art from something like Afraid of the Dark or something like that?
Mm-mm.
No, I've never heard of it.
Just curious. Someone was talking about the other.
Ronald.
Yes.
Something for me to do over the course of the hour sleeping. I do have an armor maintenance kit.
Can it's time for maintenance.
Well, it did get kind of smashed a bit by the.
That's fair. You pop some things out and put some things back where they should belong.
Yay.
I
feel like that's important to
You're able to put 7 hit points back on your armor.
Woo!
Like, a hit point for every hour that wasn't taken up by staring at flesh golem atrocities.
Right.
Right.
Thank you.
Now then, you have all awakened. What next?
Well, we've got plenty of rations in the bag of holding.
Yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
You're not wrong.
We have breakfast.
Ouch.
Most important.
Ooh.
I bring the little French press out of my haversack. Fuck.
What?
Are you out of coffee?
Almost.
Oh no.
How many cigarettes? Oh fuck.
I have tea.
Fuck that.
Are you also almost out of cigarettes?
Yes.
Oh no.
Man, we need to go back to District 4 soon.
The greatest crisis of our age.
Oh. This
We will, and we'll
this is the
resupply.
last of the Hell Jungle stock.
This is true. This is the end of Badu's legacy.
Oh,
Pour one out for Badu.
I pour one out for Body.
hell.
I'll make it for all of us.
All right. After you have all eaten and consumed all required sustenance, where are you headed?
Room 2,
Oh,
by way of room 7 and hallway A.
sounds good. Who's ready to fight some stone golems?
I'm ready.
I am.
I'm ready.
Who's going in first?
Me.
Hold on just one moment. I'm figuring out the spell. And my next rest.
Garbage pail, get brand new garbage pail.
Yeah, that's
Alright. So before we go in here, we should, if there are any defensive spells you want, Clementine, good time.
Very good. Well, I can give us another wall.
Is there an opportunity in here for a wall useful?
Oh, it depends on where they are in the room.
They are located at the four corners.
You could conceivably wall 2 of them off while we fight 2, and then take down the gem.
Is the gem in the middle of...
The gem is at the center of the room. It's not on a pedestal. There's a whole computer thingy hooked up to it.
So actually, I still have Wall of Force memorized. I could Wall of Force 2 of them in one side of the room. You could Wall of Stone the others in the other side of the room.
This is true. This is
We could
doable.
just walk to it.
You could
All right.
You could angle these dangles and burn spell slots instead of fighting.
Absolutely. I'm willing to
Let's
do
do it.
that.
You cast your spells, zip zap, ribbity bap, and like the golems are very confused. And you guys go in there to fuck with the crystals, and like the golems on the stone wall side are like, we're gonna bash down these stone walls, but like the flesh golems before them, they'll be at it for a very long time. And then the other stone golems start like they don't even try attacking the force wall, like they just press it and they seem to understand what it is, and they're like, well then.
Oh, okay.
We are at an impasse.
We're at an impasse. Well, like the stone golem looks at you like, hey, I can wait it out, and you're like, I'm not gonna be here that long, and they're like, then you're not my problem then, are you? I'm glad we've come to an understanding. And then the golem nods, and then you nod, despite the fact that none of this conversation took place because the stone golems cannot speak.
And dumb as the rocks they are made of.
This is true. So you come to the plinth with the crystal on it. The instructions are all in a dialect of Celestial. Does anybody speak Celestial?
Nope.
I speak the opposite of that.
Hey.
I speak Celestial.
Okay. Salandra, having operated chosen machinery on the peak, you're able to basically figure out how to turn the crystal thingy off. It informs you that it will turn back on in 1 hour.
So that turns off the cold in room 16.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So be prepared for water elementals, I guess.
All right.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Alright. I have a dimension door, so if worst comes to worst and it comes back on, I can fucking get us out of there.
Very good.
Sounds like a plan. What do water elementals do besides the obvious? Blub, blub, blub.
Yeah, they just glub around. They punch things with giant watery hands. They have unopposed DR. Oh, and they have very long reach because they just stretch.
Oh. Okay.
So I can actually dimension 5 creatures, so I can get to every 2.
Yeah.
Hooray.
They also get bonuses if both people are touching the wire. And considering how much melted snow there's going to be in that room, there's probably going to be a lot of water.
Maybe I can summon some of my cool water animals. Like an octopus.
No, there's not that much water in there.
Darn.
Sorry. They can also dispel magical fire.
So lightning probably isn't a good idea here either.
Lightning is okay. Lightning is only conductive in salt water. These are just water. There's nothing else in them, just pure H2O.
Okay.
Well, I did get one spell with these guys in mind.
Cone of Cold.
Yep. That's where that wall of stone went to.
Clever girl.
Wait, did you mean Cone of Old? What? No, the poor half-orcs.
Oh no! Good thing Rivo's not here.
Good thing Rival's not here. He'd age 56 years and then fucking
And then
die. Elves, on the other hand, are just like, eh. Anyway.
So which wall's coming down so that we can get out?
Neither walls seem to be coming down, but you should probably head over to room 16.
Yep.
The snowdrift has disappeared, and there are 13 huge water elementals in there. The room
Huge.
is
That's a lot.
huge. The room is very large, and they're all just sort of hanging out in there.
So they heated up that fast, huh?
Yep. Well, remember,
Would I
it's
know-
right across from the fire elemental room.
Yep.
Would I know what element they are vulnerable to?
They do not have a vulnerability.
But they don't have any particular.
Also true.
True.
They just
True.
have plain old regular DR. They are
Fuck
immune.
that.
They're also immune to electricity.
Fuck that too.
What? Fuck. Wait, are they? I thought you said electricity wasn't bad.
Oh wait, my bad. They're immune to ice. My bad. You're wondering.
Okay.
Wait, how cold was it in there that it froze a water elemental?
Very.
Fucking cold.
It's probably really good that we didn't go in there.
We would have died.
I mean, consider how much cold resistance I have, and it was able to damage.
That was the breeze coming out. Like the crystal in there generates some serious cold vibes.
Like vortex to space cold vibes.
Oh man, absolute zero. That's what I was going for. Like you could try to fire an arrow or a spell into there, but it would freeze before it reached the crystal.
We don't have to worry about that right now. We just
But
have to worry about these fucks.
You only have to worry about that in 58 minutes.
Yeah.
No problem.
Also, those stone golems totally could have gone around out the doors and in through hallway A, but like that's too complicated for their orders. Oh, also, I forgot the iron golems ran around and closed all the doors.
Those
Assholes.
fucks. They did have a lot of doors to fix. I am proud of that.
I broke all the doors, and they're like, yeah, thanks, pal. Solandra, if you want to surprise these water elementals with a... I'm sorry, they're not immune to cold. They're not even. My bad. I don't know what fucking things mean. I'm looking
That's
at.
okay.
I'm looking at their elemental traits, and it's just like, all right, they're immune to elemental traits, but what does that mean?
Immune to bleed, paralysis, poison, sleep, stun.
Oh.
They
Okay.
can't be critically hit or flanked, and do not take additional damage from precision-based attacks.
Okay. So they are susceptible to cold. My bad. Ice elementals are immune to cold, obviously.
How clustered are these things? How big is this room?
This room, as you can see on the map, is 70 feet by 90 feet, and it's basically all it's all water elemental.
So a cone is only a pretty small subject section of them.
Well, because so each of these has like a 15-foot space that they take up, and even though you won't be able to hit the entire room, there's only one water elemental that won't get hit by the cone.
Alternately, I could use my old favorite acid intensified fireball maximize.
That's another possibility.
That's a good possibility.
Unfortunately, that has a line of effect, so you'll only be able to hit the elementals closest to the door.
No, I can aim the beam towards the middle of the room.
No, you can't. You don't have line of effect. There's a water elemental in the way.
Ah, you're saying that water elemental.
Yeah, like it's all water elemental, so it would detonate at the first thing it hit.
Okay, I guess I am leading with Cone of Cold.
Like you're standing there, and this elemental just looks at you and says, "Don't," in Aquan, like fully cognizant of the fact that it knows it's not allowed to hit you. I don't know if you speak Aquan, but Clementine, you know enough about elemental body language to be like, "Oh, it's upset."
Alright, so the cone is 60-foot range.
I'm just gonna roll one save and see if any of them and see if they get it.
I'm maximizing this fucker.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
90 damage.
Jesus!
What's the save DC?
22.
22. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so they fail by 1, and they all take 90 points of damage. There's nothing left but a bunch of frozen bits as they just sort of reconstitute themselves, and they're like, alright, now we're mad, asshole. And then roll initiative.
Alright.
Enjoy your surprise round. These poor creatures.
Clem.
Clementine,
I've got little legs!
what's your dexterity score?
16.
You go after the water elementals.
Okay.
And Solandra, what'd you get on initiative? Oh, look, I don't have to change anything else. I just had to replace flesh golems with water elementals. So Solandra, it's your turn again.
Alright, how many of them are in this room now? Were they destroyed, or
None of them were destroyed.
None of them were destroyed.
There are approximately 13. There are 13 sets of faces.
So, I'm going to... how many of them would I be able to get
With what?
with a lightning bolt?
With a lightning bolt? You'd be able to get... 5.
I figure this is a good time to burn a reputation. Okay.
They die.
Yeah, I just have a normal everyday lightning bolt, which is like 10d6.
Yeah, a bunch of like a whole wave of water just sort of collapses and spills out of the room in a giant torrent, and the rest of them were like getting real tired of this bullshit. This isn't even round 1 of combat, and we're fucking sick of this shit. Holt, it's your turn.
I'm still slightly outside the door, so there's gonna be room for Holt to go in.
So Holt can go in, yes.
Excellent. And go in. I would like to do that. How far away is the first elemental?
You rush around the door, and it's like, yo, what's up, Haas? And
Excellent.
Unfortunately, you eat 2 elemental punches.
Sure.
You ever been slapped with a wet pool noodle?
Yes.
It's like that, but way harder. Ow. What's your armor class?
33.
Fucking goddamn it. Alright, so it hits you for 15 points of damage.
Okay.
And the other one misses, and the other one misses a lot. They all just like slap your armor with fucking water, and you're like, what? And another one gets in at your face, and you're like, oh fuck. Water hurts. But now you may attack one.
Vital Strike.
Ah.
I think a 16 plus 27 hits them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's roll some d10s.
Good thing you've got a whole bag of d10s.
I only use a few for... Plus 15... So that's 40 points of slashing damage and 4 points of electricity damage.
Oh, hey, just a question, Ronald. When
Shoot.
Holt is hasted, does a vital attack equal a full attack?
Yeah, a vital attack takes up an attack action. And
so he can get that attack on top of it.
No.
Mm-mm.
So like attack uses up your standard, and then full attack means a full round action. So if he's hasted, he can't vital strike and then full round attack. It just gets him an extra attack on his full round attack.
Okay, so doing vital strike that means you kind of waste the.
I mean,
you're not currently hasted, so I was just wondering in general.
Like haste is always good, but like if he moves, he can't full attack anyway. So vital striking is always great at the end of a charge or at the end of a move, because instead of rolling 1d10, you get what, 2d10s, 3d10s?
4 d10s.
Oh, eat a million dicks, you fucking pile of turds.
That's not greater.
Fuck you. So basically he can make 4 attacks, but with the lightning burst, it's better to make those 4 attacks.
It is, because I have a chance at crits, because I crit at a 17 to 20 now.
Exactly.
And penetrating strike.
But at the end of a move, there's no reason not to vital strike.
Yep.
And also, it's better against creatures that have massive damage.
You damn right.
Yep.
This thing, how much damage did you deal?
40 points of slashing damage and 4 points of electricity damage.
Ow. Okay. The water elementals go, and they're like, this is bullshit. We're very upset. 3 of them pay attention to you, and the other... So the earth elementals had a problem getting through the doors because they were too big. The water elementals do not have a problem getting through these doors.
Okay.
Actually, Holt, you get an attack of opportunity on one of the water elementals as it passes
I would love to take that. For 42 to hit.
Actually, what's your combat maneuver defense?
My combat maneuver defense is 33.
It slides by, and like you're like, I'm gonna chop at this, and there is air where your sword should be touching water, and you're like, wait, that's wrong. That doesn't work out. And you're like, I got him, and it just keeps moving, and you're like, I didn't get him. How many of these things are left? I can't count.
Well, 5 are dead.
Right, so there were 13, so there's 8 remaining. And 3 of them are attacking Holt.
Some of those are still wounded by the protocol?
Yes, all of the remainder have been wounded by the cone of cold. But that doesn't mean they're not going to get their jollies in. Clementine, what's your armor class?
17.
Okay, so you get hit once for 15 points of damage, and you get slapped by another one for maximum damage, 19 points of damage. Slandra, your armor class is 24, right?
25.
Fuck you. You get slapped for 15 points of damage, a miss, and then another miss. Clementine, it's your turn.
All right.
There are elementals
Ouch.
all over you.
Ouch. All right. Call lightning.
Does divine casting provoke?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say no.
Can I take a 5-foot step?
You can, but it won't help you because they have reach.
Oh, fair enough. And I've got little legs.
You can cast defensively.
You can cast offensively, but that means you need to make a concentration check. So either roll your what spell are you trying to cast? Call lightning.
Call lightning.
What level spell is that?
That is a level 3 spell.
Okay, so you need to get higher than a 21 on a concentration check. Otherwise, you just lose the spell.
Okay. And how do I make a concentration check?
Make a druid level roll. Roll a d20 and add your druid level.
Cool. 30.
30. You get to throw lightning bolts at one of these water elementals.
Cool. I'm gonna throw it at the one that's all up in my beeswax.
There are 3 of them. Actually, 2 of them all up in your beeswax.
I will go for the one on the left.
They have formed a dome around your person.
The one closest to my left side.
Okay.
With almost the shittiest roll possible. It does 6 points of damage.
It's dead.
Clementine scuffs her feet across the carpet and touches it.
Zap, it dies. And it just you get drenched in water. And you're like,
Oh fuck, sorry.
I wonder why these things aren't drowning us. Maybe that's against the rules. Don't ask me why, but water elementals can't drown people. Because you'd figure...
I know, that was the first thing I checked.
Yeah, because I figured the first thing to do is just like walk into someone and be like, haha, joke's on you.
And I'll be like, I'm a fish.
Fuck you. I'm casting spells inside your body. And you'd be like, I can't punch myself.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Then it is Solandra's turn.
All right, so how many of them are within reach of me?
3.
3. Okay.
In order for all 3 of them to attack you, they had to form like a dome-like structure around you, and they're just like shooting water jets at you. That you ever been hit by a fire hose? It sucks. Except this fire hose hates you.
I'm going to try to do my. I am doing spell combat, but just to do a spell strike with my brand cantrip. I'll make an interesting rune on one of these. So I'll start off with that.
I think you mean you'll make some interesting steam.
Yeah, it's a steamy rune. Fuck off. You ruined for that. It involves fist with a slight alteration.
A certain arcane gesture being displayed.
Nope. That is her symbol, after all. Okay, that's a 30, 31.
You hit.
Then a 30, 33.
That was also a hit.
I'm probably splitting these up among all the ones that are attacking.
Right.
Okay, so does a 21 hit?
It does. Me to beat.
Okay. And my last one is a 22. Oh, no. A 21. 21.
You destroy the elementals that are attacking you. You spin around and then you get drenched as the water just sort of falls apart and sloughs off and starts falling into the other rooms. And you can hear the earth elementals grumble that water is getting in their room.
I do my dervish dance.
Yeah. Holt, it's your turn. Make those attack rolls and damage rolls and put them in chat. A cat just vomited, so I want to go pick that up before it solidifies.
All right, you got it.
Godspeed.
This is the only time I get to have big numbers, so I'm gonna say my numbers, okay, guys?
Big dick, big number.
Thanks. The first is a 45 to hit.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next one's a 37 to hit.
Outstanding.
The third one is a 20 to hit. I'm not sure if that hits, actually.
I think 21 was meant to be.
Okay, so the third one doesn't hit. And the last one is a 26. So that's 3 attacks.
The mystery of the vomit endures.
Brilliant.
Alright.
First attack is 24 points of slashing damage, 2 points of electricity. Next one is 17 slashing, 5 electricity. Third one misses because I only rolled a 20.
That's a fair. Yes, you are correct.
And then the last attack is 23 points of slashing damage and 4 points of electricity.
Got him. You destroy one of the water elementals, the one that didn't get hit by the cone of gold.
Woo!
Clementine, it's your turn. I'm sorry, water
Hell
elementals,
yeah.
go. Clem, you get slapped for 15 points of damage. Holt,
Ow.
you fail to get slapped.
There is no slapping.
Like, you're getting slapped with
Nothing
water,
slapping in here.
but you're like, I have a shield, and like, you can just like slap water out of the way with it. And they're like, what? No, you can't counter slap my slap. And you're like, oh, I totally can.
Watch me.
That's the best shower I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Clementine, it goes back to you.
All right. I am going to use my Call Lightning again.
Zap.
Zap.
Oh, that's a natural 1 on a reflex save.
Ooh. That's better. 14 damage.
You murder an elemental.
Splat.
Slandra, it's your turn. There are 2 elementals fighting Holt. It's still inside the room.
Okay, either one of them seems particularly damaged.
They both seem like on their last watery sea legs.
Can I guess they don't have a real front or back, right?
No.
So I can't flank. Okay.
And when you move into the room, 2 of them slap you.
Oh.
Oops.
Thank-
Combat reflexes. You take 17 damage from 1 slap, and then 15 damage from another slap.
Ow. Can I get close enough? Can I get...
Yes, at that point you get close enough.
Okay, in that case, are both of them injured?
They're both injured.
Alright, I will attack the first one under the same spell strike. Actually, no, I can't do that because I moved. So I only attack once.
Yep.
Alright. Oh! These things are immune to crit, right?
They are immune to critical hits.
That was a 20.
Here's the fun, please. Give us your fun.
Yep. That was a 20. 42 or something. 11 points of damage?
Oh, you annihilate this water elemental. Actually, only barely. You dropped it to -1. Thanks, DR.
I'll take a nice long drink as incorporates.
It's gross. It's gross, dude.
Hi, monster.
Instead of attacking
Water
Holt,
elemental is so pure.
the other elemental turns around and slaps you for 10 points of damage. And then Holt is your turn.
Ouch.
All right, how many elementals are still standing?
There's one. How do you?
Excellent.
I'd ask you how do you want to do this, but there's no way you can gruesomely execute a water elemental. You can just like send your sword through it until it discorporates, and you just send water all over the room.
Well, in Holt's case, he could probably piss on it.
Well, no, I'm gonna hit it with some sort of lightning-y attack, and it's gonna be a great light show.
It's fantastic. Oh, it's a marvelous light show. Like if you ever hold a flashlight up to a jug of water and just use that to light your way, it's pretty cool. Yeah, instead of creating a beam of light, it creates just like a radiating. It's cool. Anyway, yes, the water elementals have been defeated. And you look down, and there was a force field covering room 16, and the force field lowers. You are all drenched, soaking wet.
Oh, Lord.
Clem's
bloodied.
I'll prestidigitate each of us dry.
That's a good idea.
Clem, you okay?
Ooh, those knocked me silly. Ooh, okay. Give me just a minute.
You okay?
Uh-huh.
I've got a potion.
No, I'm okay.
No, before you
Give me a
do that,
minute.
maybe I should do this on you rather than you wasting your spells. 'Cause I can use that. I can use my hand on each of us once per day.
Ooh, what does that do?
I
Regeneration.
will give Clementine regeneration, fast healing 5.
All right. Sweet. How do I use that?
You heal 5 hit points per round for 7 rounds.
Cool. All right. Cool. All right. That'll top me up actually.
The little snakeheads stick their tongues out and hiss at you a little bit.
I stick my tongue out at them. Whew, thank you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Although a voice beckons from the next room over that simply says, "It's not kind to keep a hero waiting."
I've been told
All right.
the dead are patient. I'll walk into the room.
You walk into the room. Oh, there is Marduk, resplendent in his armor and grasping his swords.
Not a hologram.
It does not appear to be a hologram. It appears to be very, very real.
I go up and touch him.
Noticeably undead.
No.
Just curious.
It looks like he's alive. It's not a bad question. Not a bad question. The room is adorned with, like, you know, golden resplendence and marvelous riches.
Am I able to enter the room?
You are able to enter the room.
Okay.
I attempt to touch Marduk.
You attempt to touch him, and like he leaves one of his swords standing on its edge, and he reaches his hand down to you and says, "I'm very real."
I shake his hand.
You shake his hand. Feels there's a little give. Make a I don't know, wisdom or sense motive roll, something like that.
Oh my God, sounds fun. 26 sense motive.
26 sense motive. If this thing is fake, it's as real as a fake can get.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm also trying to sense motive, by the
Oh, bye.
way. I regret this, but I'm gonna put the goggles on.
You can see. So you put the goggles on, and the armor and swords are just sort of moving of their own volition. There's nothing inside.
Ah.
Like he leaves the sword like point down on the stone, perfectly balanced, and that's how he frees up his hand to shake yours. Well, I'm as real as an idea, as a hope can be. How long has it been since I interred myself? Do you know? Can you count it?
Tell him
No.
present date. To my best approximation.
900 years, wasn't it?
It's 700 years since the battle of the Seven Winds. And he disappeared some 200 years after that, so like 500-ish years.
500 years. Some of my kin were alive during your
And like he leaves the blade where it is and puts a hand to his temple and just says, "It's been so long." Oh, gracious. This charade has gone on far, far too long. Far longer than it was ever meant to.
Charade?
Let me explain. You must understand. All the things that I have done in my life have been for the veneration of my father. And in return, I thought that I had a good life. But could I really say that it was ever mine to begin with? I was created to battle in the Battle of Seven Winds, and I rallied the armies of Septemport, and I defeated Gemma's sinister host, and then I created my own kingdom, and I wanted to break free. I didn't know who I was, but I wanted to figure out who that's supposed to be. And my father told me that I was to become a god in service of his scheme. And that didn't sit very well with me. So I built this tomb and sent my people to the peak, but after I perished, I realized that had been part of his plan to begin with. I was never able to escape.
So,
And so part of me remains trapped here, and part of me remains trapped as his servant. And I guess I couldn't let this secret die.
So everything that we do is all part of this grand plan?
Exactly. It's all part of the scheme. The only solace that I can bring you is that my father doesn't have the ability to orchestrate this scheme directly. Not while he's conscious, anyway. He is asleep. He is dreaming. Only by shutting off his higher brain functions is he able to control the entire city.
So nudges, manipulation, dreams.
Exactly. Dreams, prophecies, small chance meetings. There's no such thing as chance in Septemport.
And of course, you, or what the other part of you, your wife,
Oh,
Gamma.
Gracious.
All of those serve his will.
They don't serve his will. They are his will. At this point, Gemma gets very upset.
Yeah, my bullshit alarm's going off and he's not helping. Well, turn off my chair. Saying things like...
and Gemma's just like, that's false. That's wrong. I'm real. I got cast into hell. I scrabbled and I clawed and I fought and I became king of this pit. And I did it all because of me.
Are all of these entities fractured pieces of the creator's will, all representing different facets of the creator?
Yes. Well, yes and no. He wanted to create a legacy, a story. He loves his stories. Don't let him get talking. He'll never stop. Then again, feel free to ignore him. He doesn't really care either. Dogo was a consultant on the construction, and so he decided to venerate one of his friends by creating a deity in his image. Clem, Dogo's like, fuck that. What? No, I'm the real Dogo.
That doesn't make any sense.
I've been all over the universe and back.
You can't make up someone that knows all of the mysteries that Dogo knows. That's a paradox.
Clementine.
Yeah?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
So if Dogo really knows all the things that he knows, he should be able to tell you all the names of the planets he's been to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in your head, Dogo's like, yeah, I've been to Colossus and Bacano and he like rattles off like 60 planet names and then he stops. And he's like, there's got to be more. I've been to more. I've been to them all. I've been to all the planets.
I mean, that's...
I'm taking out one of my last cigarettes, lighting it.
Holt's just staring very calmly at the ground.
I hand it to Clementine.
Clementine takes a very shaky drag of this cigarette.
This is the truth that I kept within. This is the truth that I needed to tell all of you. Torn between hiding it away and wanting to shout it from the rooftops. Shouting it from the highest peaks and the deepest forests. Down to the deepest parts of the earth.
Now, your truth is a little bit too palatable for me in some ways, because it fucking coincides a little bit too perfectly with my own prejudices. Not an idiot, by the way, Holt. You know
What?
that. I take the cigarette back from Clementine and offer it to Holt.
He takes it, but it's not going to have any effect.
Yeah, I know. It's psychological, anyway.
Psychosomatic. The boy needs therapy.
Good song.
Obviously, a figment can have an immense amount of power, and these are powerful figments. But figments that they are. Shadows dancing on the wall.
But you don't seem to be much more than a figment either.
No. I'm a figment made of truth. They're a figment made of lies. We're both powerful, and both different, but also very the same.
If we were to be able to bring Rivo or another one of your scions here, would you become more complete?
No. As soon as I am done here, this facility is going to break down. And I suggest you take the pieces of me left behind and go.
So, the scions, all of us,
Yes.
were part of that bomb.
Yes, you are pawns in my father's game. He created you so that someday you might be able to find the keys, awaken him, and kickstart the dream machine when the time is right.
In that case, why is it that most of them don't seem to be pushing that approach? Only your other half.
Other halves? Oh, no. Before Father went into his slumber, he studied the concept of the doppelganger. I fear he may have become infatuated with it. Like, he obviously knew about the creature, the doppelganger, that can take any shape, but he just learned about the literary concept of the shadow form.
So now there are shadow aspects of you running around claiming people as scions?
It's a legitimate claim. My father creates the divine power, and he gives it to them. To the worthy, to the willing, that sort of like thing.
But what about reversed or evil versions of these things?
Then he would give it to the person who deserves it the least, as a darkened version of their power. It's all part of the plan, my dear.
Is there any way of neutralizing the power of the dark of these dark duplicates?
Only if you wake up my father. When you wake him up, all of these figments will cease to exist.
So all of them are part of his dream.
Yes. They are all simply the most powerful aspects of the dream.
What other aspects are there? What about us? What about Septemport? How much of that will stop working if he wakes up?
Everything will begin happening as it should be without his influence. I don't know what the political environment upstairs is, he says, like gesturing upward in a sort of silly fashion. But everything will sort of get amplified, the good and the bad.
All right, so
it's amplified enough already.
Then things will only get worse or better.
We are all doing this for one big reason. We're trying to save the fucking city from an extra-dimensional lunatic calling himself the Dragon Emperor, who is threatening on ripping the gates to the hells and every other place open in order to swamp us with the worst of the worst. So your shadow, these entities that call themselves gods, they are helping us.
Yes, that's part of the plan. Yes, I'm aware. And I suspect the Shadow Selves may be an aspect used to speed up the process. If my father has become aware of the intrusion of this interloper, he wouldn't stop him from using the Dream Machine. He wouldn't stop him from using the Wish Granter. He doesn't believe in that sort of thing. But he might be trying to speed things up a bit. An opponent can be more inspiring than an opponent can be more inspiring than a prize.
I kind of look at Holt and chuckle a little bit.
He doesn't catch it.
What about Kira? She was a creation of him to begin with.
Yes.
What about the entity that now calls itself by that name? Is it the same entity?
I can't speak to that. I never learned what became of my wife. I do miss her. Very much. Then again, I'll cease to exist soon, so I guess I won't have too long to worry about it.
But this other Marduk, the god.
Yes.
Is it any of you? Is it part of the person who died?
It's like me. Like a sculpture or a statue. An imitation. More palatable than the actual me. I can tell you I made a lot of decisions that I regret. Whether I truly had any choice in those situations remains to be seen. But the point is, well, I'm not quite sure what the point is. All I have is the information. I can't manage to connect it sometimes.
Are you able to... Do you know where Rivo is?
I'm sorry. I don't know this rival. Was he a warrior in the battle?
He was your scion. Your scion. He still is, but...
He's not my scion.
The other Marduks.
Exactly. I can only assume that I picked him well. He's a good judge of character. If you fear for his life, if you fear for his life, if you don't find a body, don't assume that he's dead.
Oh, I'm not afraid that he's dead. I just miss him.
Then perish the thought, little one. If I can stand 500 years without my wife's kind hand at my side, I'm certain that you can last a few years without his.
Yeah.
Poor creature.
But if he was the only scion, we know where the doppelganger is, or have some good ideas. How are we to complete this if we don't have him?
The keys should be able to be used by any scion, shadow scion or otherwise. Alternatively, there's more than one scion for each. There's more than one scion for each deity or shadow deity at any given time.
All right. So she kind of turns to everyone. So we will keep looking.
You could look for another one, or you could try to perhaps trick the shadow self into doing it for you.
It's possible, I suppose.
You also may be able to turn her to your side. It's two sides of the same coin. All you have to do is flip it over. That being said, that can take a surprising amount of leverage sometimes.
Yeah, we
She's
have
not
some ideas, but
She would be a very tough nut to crack, and she's fucking insane, and she has a evil version of my blade here that seems to control her actions.
But still, we have some idea where she is, which is more than what we can say for a true scion of Marduk.
Ooh, very, very tactful use of words.
That's what happens when Gemma shuts up for 5 seconds.
I hope that you can understand why he's upset, though.
Oh no, yes. We'll get to that later.
I'm the Demon King. You're the Nothing King.
I hear some massive typing going on. Jeez, it's like 3 different types.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. People are typing. People are typing things. But so does everything make sense? Do you understand the truth that has been given?
Can be.
It makes sense to Solandra. She takes it with the same grain of salt. She takes every truth that they've encountered.
Right.
But,
And Marduk continues, "You must understand. I couldn't tell this to my people. They'd give up hope. And if this was part of my father's design, he would simply have them slaughtered and replaced."
Do your children went fucking hideously awry? I don't know how much you're able to perceive of the outside world, but
I'm sorry, I know nothing at all.
they sequestered themselves on the mountain, fought battles in the air, and dumped their trash on District 2 until it was a giant trash heap. They didn't help anyone. They killed and took what they wanted. And now they're almost gone.
It took the destruction of where they were on the summit to make them see that that wasn't a way to live.
Perhaps you should take that lesson to heart. My people are good at building up when they've been broken down. And all I can do is apologize on behalf of my father's machinations. I'd considered trying to live.
I offer the cigarette to Marduk.
He reaches a gauntleted hand down and like draws the cigarette to his lips, but he doesn't inhale. And he's like, oh.
I watch with my goggles in a fascinated fashion.
Very strange. And he just says, right. And he passes it back, gingerly and tenderly. I had considered the possibility of perhaps trying to outlive my usefulness, quite literally. But I thought that perhaps this would be a more judicious use of my time.
So, surely your father, even in this state, knows that you persist. Is even this part of his fucking plan?
Perhaps.
How deep does his tendrils go? Do his tendrils go?
They're all throughout the mountain. Until you get away, until you get outside the hell jungle, you will always be under his sway.
Because we got nudged to this fucking place pretty fucking hard. And things just lined up to get us here.
Then perhaps he wanted you to know this. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to take the time to explain it to himself. He can be terribly long-winded, but he hates explaining things.
Well,
He hates bringing himself down to someone else's level.
so we do know this now, but it doesn't change much what we have to do.
I suspect not. If you were chosen to defeat this interloper, then you should probably do it.
Can you tell us where the control room is?
Yes, I can. I've been through every set of tunnels down here. I explored the whole thing before I interred myself. Could I borrow your head, please? It would take me a terribly long time to draw it all.
I kind of step forward and go up on tiptoes.
He reaches his hands down, and you apprehend a series of knowledge of the Underdark. Noting important locations. If you want to get to the control room, you have to go much deeper down. And you also learn again that the mountain is capable of flight. And Marduk simply comments on it. My father decided to scrap that project, I think.
You think? You're not sure though.
I mean, obviously.
I have the knowledge to do it. We're supposed to work.
And he just simply comments out loud, "It's very strange dealing with someone who at the same time knows everything that is going to happen, refuses to reveal it, and yet pretends as if he does not."
Sounds like my mom.
And he goes on, he's like, "You'll kill a man, and he'll come before you and say that what you did was wrong, but at the same time, if you know enough, you know that it was his fault that this happened. That murder could not have taken place without his say-so. And I assume he blames you for the esteemed crime of being unfortunate."
Now that one sounds like my ex.
Speaking of your ex, one of these scions has the ability to, in some ways like your father, she's hard to disbelieve. She has a perverted version of Kira's power.
Oh, gracious, of course.
how do we counter it?
Avoidance. I hate to give a child holding a tantrum what they want, but either you accept the tantrum or let it go about its business. I know neither's a good option, but that's the whole point.
The good thing is that she's greedy. We just need to be able to offer her something that will draw her attention away.
Perhaps. Greed is not a very good motivator for Kira. She never cared for material things.
Yeah, but what could be more valuable than a wish machine? What could Myrna want more than that? It would give her everything that she would ever want.
I don't know.
I mean, of course, bird in the hand is more than worth two in the bush, so maybe if it's something that she wants now.
Mira's, she's always been patient.
And as you guys are having this conversation, the blade tips over and clatters to the ground. And Marduk just looks at it in like agog disbelief and just says, "Oh dear."
Our time is coming to an end.
I believe so. I'm sorry.
Can you put this stuff in your bag?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in this room?
There is a veritable like hoard of art and wealth. Oh, and books. There are only like 5 books. They are ensorcelled, and writ upon them is the complete compendium of world knowledge, volumes 1 through 5.
Huh? Huh? You don't really need this stuff, and this tomb is going away, right?
Yes, I want you to take all of it.
Huh?
You just made her day.
He says as a greave falls off of his leg, and he just sort of like clatters over, falling on his ass as his right leg just like clatters to the floor.
I start shoving books into my haversack.
I'm gonna kneel beside him and just like hold his hand.
You hold his hand until it's gone, and then like you hold his head until there's basically nothing left. Just like hold. I assume you pick up the pieces of the armor.
I do.
You have a bag of holding, right?
I do.
Don't take those out. They haven't been suffused with Marduk god powers, but they will as soon as this figment fades away.
Okay.
At which point, don't touch them. Don't touch that.
As in it'll kill me?
It won't kill you. You'll have a very adverse reaction.
Okay.
And like Clementine, you have very intimate moments with sort of like Marduk's. You have a very intimate situation with Marduk's last words as he just like looks at you and says, "I'm sorry. Good luck."
Before Marduk fades, I have to ask Kira a question.
Shoot. Salandra, Kira politely requests to have control of your body for just a short while.
No strings attached after the fact. Fact.
Of course.
Alright.
Salandra's tattoos become much more vibrant.
Ooh.
And her armor and equipment just sort of melds into her body a little bit. Like brother just sort of becomes a tattoo on her hip. And she like rushes over, leans down, pushes Clementine out of the side, out of the way, and just like wraps Marduk's torso in a sweet embrace and gives him a fantastic kiss. And you can tell Marduk, the figment of Marduk made of pure truth fades away happily.
Aww.
Like you can just see the sort of like realization and happiness in his eyes as his head suddenly disappears and his helmet clatters to the ground. And then Salandra, you become Salandra again.
Is everyone okay?
No. And I'm going to gather up the armor pieces and swords.
Salandra, you're filled with the power of love. That's the power of love. Like all that cynicism fades away in a warm glow of affection.
Oh.
It's gross. It's disgusting. But you can't shove it away, and it feels so right.
I can't even enjoy my cigarette. Oh.
Oh, you can't. You need to get that disgusting thing away from you. What you want is a glass of mango juice. So sweet.
Thanks, Pidge.
You're welcome.
Oh boy. Okay.
Alright, we should take what we came here for then. Help Holt gather up the armor.
I'll start grabbing the other stuff.
There are lots of things. This many things.
Detecting magic and oh. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that being said, like, even from within the bag of holding, Marduk's armor radiates... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to send that to you. I meant to send that in general. Even from within the bag of holding, Marduk's armor and weapon, like, exude just, like, power.
Wait, so you got another pirate's eye patch?
Don't ask me. There's just another one in there. Apparently, Marduk really liked sky pirates.
I'm gonna take him and put him on each.
He had a fondness for Helgat cavalry, I guess. 10,000 copper pieces, baby Jesus. You might want to leave those behind. 93.
What is that worth? Like 100 gold pieces?
Yep. But
we can just open up a hole to the our vault
and just chuck it in.
Basically, that's the plan.
Buy a fucking coin star from the consortium.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna make
We should probably start buying some stuff from the consortium because
they're gonna make some poor goblin count all that. But yeah, like these swords they're great swords.
Okay.
They are what magical ensorcelments are on them. The Salandra will have to investigate that later. But they are obviously like beyond epic artifact weapons, and that armor is like beyond artifact. Beyond epic artifact armor. These things are indestructible, like incorruptible, unfazable. You can't break these cuffs.
What about your old girlfriend, Omen's daughter?
Fowlirin? We're never... That never happened.
Oh. That's surprising. I look at Clementine. Really?
Clementine shrugs.
You must have been game.
I mean, it's pretty smart to not get into a relationship with your boss's daughter.
You know, it's
exactly
it's possible for me to have friends that I don't fuck.
Absolutely, you have the two of us.
Unrelatable content. Damn.
Damn.
So you all get a large amount of XP. 18,000 for defeating the creatures that you faced. 25,000 for finding Marduk's tomb and learning like the ultimate sundering truth about the creator's designs, and then 5,000 experience points for a great session.
Yeah, boy. Thank you, Mr. DM, sir.
Thank you, Mr. DM. So it's a total of 48,000 for us plebs. Ding.
Yep.
Ding.
Okay.
I almost deleted my whole journal.
Jesus.
That's a scary thought.
Ding, 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 ding.
Me too.
A
Holt,
ding, a ding, a ding, a ding.
Holt, you get this distinct impression that hell is about to go to hell.
Gemma is not a happy camper right now.
Neither am I.
Oops! All of your lives were a lie! But consider it this way. If you can wake the creators up, that will stop happening.
Ooh.
Does this mean Holt's not going to hell now?
There are... So,
It's
Holt...
complicated.
Somebody make a knowledge religion roll.
Okay.
I don't know.
I actually don't have knowledge religion anymore.
I'll do it. Knowledge religion. For 36.
36, that's good. Solandra, do you have any knowledges in, like, law or history?
History.
Alright, history will do it.
Making a roll.
Yes.
Alright, that's a 27.
Okay, so devils often base their contracts off of... they often base their contracts on mortal... Or it is rumored that mortal banking laws based their contracts off of devil contracts. So it will probably operate the same way. So if Gemma owns Holt's soul, there has to be a contract, a writ, something that represents that. And that would be kept in Gemma's soul vault. But if Gemma ceases to exist, and if he owns the bank, and and everyone who controls the bank ceases to exist, it's a race to that vault, baby.
So we could just grab Holt's soul real quick.
There's gonna be nothing real fucking quick about it.
Assuming that the creator doesn't decide to claim it
Right.
first.
Right.
That would be he would be the next, because it seems like the creator, that Gemma is an aspect of the creator.
That could create a line of inheritance. But if he were to refuse, like, no one would own it. I mean, everyone would have claim.
No one would own it, including me.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
It doesn't revert back to Holt.
Fuck.
It goes to no one.
Oh fuck.
Oops. And then whoever gets it first then owns one Nikolai Holt.
Any chance that Gemma will decide to be merciful and give you your soul fucking back before this happens?
I have a plan.
There are plans being made. There are plans.
I have discussed these plans with Reynold. And such plans they are.
But with that all new level of psychological horror, I bring this session to a close. Did everybody have fun?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. DM.